Someone can just look at you wrong in the office and you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like ready to go. And that's because you don't have a routine in the morning. Are you a busy mom who is dreading the chaos of back to school time? The early morning rush, the lunch boxes, the race to get the kids out of the house on time. I understand. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some ideas and tips that are tailor-made just for the overwhelmed moms out there. Because this video is going to be the ultimate guide to having a stress-free and organized school year. We're going to transform everything. If you're new here, my name is Grace, and on this channel, we're all about the mom glow up. We are talking about self-care needs that are practical and easy to do for the overwhelmed moms out there. The first thing that we need to tackle is your scheduling. We're going to have a simplified scheduling for this new school year. Having a simplified scheduling system is going to allow you to be so organized so that you are not missing any important events, whether in your own life or in your child's life. And also, it will help you with reducing the level of stress that you are feeling. There are so many things that you can miss if you don't have a simplified schedule, such as your school schedule, knowing what time school starts and when it ends, early release days, parent-teacher conferences, holidays, PTA meetings, extracurricular activities, appointments, work commitments, work meeting, conferences, any other miscellaneous things that you could miss. If you put all these things in a simplified calendar, then you don't have to have it in your mind or have it constantly roaming through your thoughts. So that's why it's important for you to have a simplified calendar system. So the first tip that I have for you is for you to actually have a digital calendar. You can create a digital calendar on your Apple device, or you can create it on Google. I like having our family calendar on our Google Calendar because it's an easy way for me to share with my husband, and we have a calendar just for our daughter. We have one for the home, I have one for my business, and I'm able to click through these calendars and actually merge everything together and see what's going on. This is a good way to also know if you have kids that have overlapping commitments, right? So you have Dave that needs to go to soccer practice at 7 p.m., but also Shelly has to also go to ballet at 7 p.m. Like, you can't split yourself in two. You're going to have to find some sort of support or switch things around. So it's important for you to start organizing these things into some sort of calendar system. And I say a digital calendar because it is just good to be able to share this on the go and be able to see things in real time. So definitely consider getting yourself a digital calendar either on your Apple Calendar or as a Google Calendar. Tip number 2 is for you to also make sure that your calendar is color coded. You can color code your calendar based on events, or you can color code your calendar based on persons. So I like to color code our calendar based on persons. If anything is going on in our daughter's life, we can see everything that pertains to her on that calendar. If this is something that's for my husband and I, we have a calendar for that, we can see it. If we have home projects that we want to work on, we also put this on the calendar. We also put it in the notes in our phones, and we share with each other. So as we're completing tasks around the home and we're doing things together, we're able to check it off. I'm telling you, having some sort of systemized digital way of working is going to help you, is going to help streamline a lot of the things that you were stressed about. The next thing that we're going to tackle now is streamlining your school supplies. Yes, all those days of looking for a pencil, looking for pen, the pencils over here, the crayons over here, everything is just all over the place. We are going to stop that. We are going to have a designated area that these supplies live in. The kids are going to know where to find them, and also we're going to teach them to return those things to where they found them. I know it's not easy, but we can start implementing these things a little bit at a time. So one thing you can do is actually create a dedicated area for your child to be able to see what their school supplies are. So there's a bucket that has their pens, their markers, their pencils, erasers, whatever it is that they are using. You should have a designated area in your house, whether it's where they're doing their homework, whatever it is, where they can find the supplies, and also encourage them, give them incentives to actually return those things back to where they got it. Another tip that I'm going to have for you about being organized with the school supplies is for you to have a checklist of items that your child actually needs for back to school. Create a list. Don't just blindly go into the store and buy whatever you see. It is better for you to have a list. Your child's teacher may actually have a list for the new school year. I know for my niece, my sister usually gets a list from her school. This was a great way for her to not waste money and buy exactly what it is that her child needs. So reach out to the school and ask them if they have school supply list that you should be going off. And if not, make sure that you are shopping for this list. Make a list. Don't just go into the store and pick just any random thing. And you can also Google what you think your child may need. So depending on what grade level your child is in, Google what are the things that my child needs in the first grade, in the second grade, in the third grade, and so on, so that you're not buying excess of anything. I have a resource for you that you can check out. If you go into my Pinterest board, I actually have all these ideas pinned in there. So if you're not following me on Pinterest, this is your cue to follow me over on Pinterest. I have all these ideas actually pinned into a board. I'll make sure that I link the board below. See all the ideas and start implementing them right now. If you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And yeah, let's move on to the next tip. So the next thing that we're going to tackle is streamlining our morning routine. Yes, that morning routine literally sets the tone for the rest of your day. Do you notice that on the days where you don't have a routine, things are just going here and there, you didn't plan things out, you're a little bit more snappy? I mean, someone can just look at you wrong in the office and you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like ready to go. And that's because you don't have a routine in the morning. You don't have a way of just setting the mood in the morning so that you have a good rest of the day. So the tip that you're going to take right now is actually starting to implement some sort of morning routine. And this is something that you want to get your child's buy-in into. You want to get your spouse buy-in into, or your partner, whoever it is, whoever you're living with or who's living with you, you want to get them to buy into this morning routine. Whoever's helping you with your children, you want to get them to buy into this routine. So the first tip in this category is for you to actually pick out the outfits ahead of time. Pick the outfits for the rest of the week at the beginning of the week. Yes, on Sunday before your child goes to bed or at some point on Sunday, make sure that you guys discuss, okay, so what do you want to wear for the remainder of this week? You pick out the outfit for Monday through Friday and you actually have a designated spot for each of them. I'm going to show examples of what this would look like. So you want to label Monday through Friday for every single day of the week so that your child knows exactly what they're going to put on. I promise you that this is going to save you that 20 minutes, 30 minutes of scurrying around trying to figure out what it is that your child's going to wear every morning. This is going to save you time because now you've tackled this. The 30 minutes you took on Sunday to do this is going to pay off dividend because now you're saving 15, 20 minutes each morning, not looking for the shoe, not looking for book bags, not looking for all these little things around because you have a designated spot for all of these things. And we have planned our outfits ahead of time. And if you have a child that's a little bit picky and it's like, Ma, I gotta look cool to school, then you know what you need to do? You need to involve them. Get them to pick the outfits. Let them match their shirts and pants with their sneakers or whatever it is that they like to do because I think getting their buy-in is going to pay off in the long run. And they're already building these organizational habits for themselves. And this is something that can carry them on into high school or beyond, right? So we are already planting these seeds in our kids. So don't hesitate to start organizing with them. Work with your child or your teenager, whoever that you were doing this with, so that you guys are on the same page and you're picking the outfits together. And I think it's like a nice also like bonding experience for the two of you. So you also want to make sure that they're organizing their book bag. They have a designated spot for this bag every single day and they know where to put it after they're done with homework. Put this here, put all your supplies in there so that in the morning, when you need to go in the morning, you're just picking up your bag. If you've done this before, actually let me know in the comment section below how this is working for you. But this was one that I was super excited to share with you guys. One thing that I want you to consider is creating a visual routine chart. Yes, if you have younger kids that like a little bit of independence, create a chart for them so that in the morning when they wake up, they know, okay, I'm going to go brush my teeth, I'm going to comb my hair, I'm going to put on my clothes, whatever it is that you want them to do in a systematic order. As they are completing each of these tasks, they get it to either check it off or they are, sticking a sticker or something, and there's a visual representation that your child has done all these things, and it builds independence for them, but it also gives you a little bit of independent time to do something else. So the next thing that we're going to tackle is meal planning. Meal planning can be a pain in the butt, and I understand. So you are going to start implementing some sort of meal planning. Meal planning looks different for different people. For example, I'm not going to meal plan for the whole week because I know by day 3, I don't want to eat the same thing, and your child may be the same way or you may be the same way. So make sure you find a meal planning technique that works for you. Something that I enjoy doing is ingredient prepping. So if I know in the morning I want to have an omelet, I would have my tomatoes and my bell peppers and the onions. Maybe I want to add a little protein in there or extra whatever it is that I want to add in there. I'm going to make sure that it's already prepped in the fridge. So if I want to make an omelet in the morning, I'm not just dicing onions. I'm not doing all that in the morning. It's already done. All I have to do is bring it out of the fridge and make my fresh omelet. You want to consider doing that. Think about the meal prepping technique that works best for you. And if we're thinking about meal prepping for your child, you definitely want to involve them in this process. You're going to see that I continue to encourage you to get your child's buy-in if they are going to be interested in something like that. If you have a kid that if you give them anything, they're going to eat it, that's different. But if you have a picky child or a picky middle schooler, middle school kids, but if you get a picky middle schooler, they are vocal. They're going to tell you what they like and what they don't like. So you probably want to involve them in that, like, girl, I need you to help me with picking this out. What do you want to eat this week? Because whatever we pick out today is what you're going to have for lunch tomorrow. So what do you want to have for lunch tomorrow and the day after? And if you think that you want to do ingredient prepping, then you can do ingredient prepping ahead of time. If you have a teenager that can cook for themselves, the ingredients are prepped. When they get home, they can make themselves something to eat. So you can just adjust this to whatever works for your lifestyle. So I don't want you to take any of these tips as a do or die. I want you to make sure that you are adjusting the tips to fit what works for your lifestyle, because the last thing you want to do is create more chaos for yourself and create more stress for yourself by using organizational tips that just doesn't fit into your lifestyle. So consider that. Something else that you should consider that I'm actually going to start trying at my home is creating single serve containers of food. Meaning, instead of doing just batch cooking and just putting stuff separately, I'm going to try to create meals, almost like a Lunchable, right? In glass containers and have it in the fridge so that if I'm hungry or hubby's hungry or you have a kid that's hungry, they can just take that up, warm it up, and they have a full meal. So in this, they can have their protein, their carbs, whatever it is that they're going to eat. It's already in a meal form and they're just grabbing it and warming it up. I think that's another way of meal prepping that you should also consider. So we're talking about several ways of meal prepping, which is ingredient prepping. You can do batch cooking where you can just take some of the food and warm it up each day, or you can create individual meals where you just take an individual meal from the fridge or refrigerator, freezer, whatever it is, and you're just warming it up and you're good to go. So think about the ones that's going to work best for you. This one is probably one of my favorite too. This tip is for you to have a family command center. Yes, a family command center is where you're going to have a little calendar that shows what's going on for the month, what's going on for the week. And on this calendar, or on this command center, you're also going to have important documents. Is there a permission slip that your child needs to take to school the next morning and they left it for you? It's going to be on the command center. This is also a place where you can collect mail or things as they come into the house. You can put them in the command center. Important events, you can put on the command center as well. So I'm going to give you a quick definition of what a command center is. A family command center is a centralized and organized space within your home that's designed to keep track of family activities, schedules, information, and tasks. It is essentially a hub that helps you streamline communication within your home. It allows for coordination amongst family members. All you need is a corner of your home to make this happen. I know a lot of people also do this on their refrigerator. So find a place in your home that is central to your home that everyone can go to and create a small family command center for yourself. You're going to thank me. So there you have it. You have a simplified scheduling system. You've learned how to create your own digital calendar that you can share with your family. You've streamlined your school supply system. You have a designated place for all of these items. You have mastered your morning routine. Your kids know what to do. You know what to do. You're not snapping at people at work. You have started your day on a more positive note. You have a family command center where everybody knows what to do. You have a place for you to share message with the whole family and just put this in the forefront of people's minds. And you feel ready to tackle the school year. One thing that I want to note is that you're not going to do all these things at once, because the point of this is for you to be stress-free. So we're not going to try to implement every single thing we just talked about in this video at once. What you're going to do is pick the one that you think is most important to you. Is it important that in the morning you feel energized, that you feel happy and grateful and in a better state of mind before you leave the home, that you want to make sure you're mastering your morning routine? Do you have a large family and it feels difficult to communicate everything that's going on to everyone? Then you want to make sure you have either a digital calendar that everyone has access to, or you want to start prioritizing having your family command center. Do you have pens and papers and all that kind of stuff all over the house, and your child never knows where their pen is? They don't know where anything is. They don't, they just don't know. You want to make sure that you are tackling organizing your school supplies for your child. Or are you just struggling with meal planning? Then you want to start meal prepping. You want to find the right system that works for you and your family. So there you have it, 5 organizational tips that are not just going to make back to school a breeze, but it will bring a sense of calm to your routine. If you're hungry for more tips and tricks, make sure you check out my next video.